Join us on another adventure with Wild and Free,
Interior Alaska.
So while we fight some mosquitoes, we're stopping to try to catch a fish on the way up to our cabin. So there's a lot of these ponds. We just stopped at another one. It wasn't quite as nasty looking, but we'll see if there's anything biting in this one. There wasn't in the other one. So we've got our dogs up here. As you can see, these are also a lot of common campsites along the way. We have these cool poles that I got from Temu for like 10 bucks. Easy to transport, they fold up, and they're working pretty good. Let's see if anything's biting out here. Trying a new pond, as you can see, much clearer, much better. We've seen different fish popping up around, so hopefully we'll get lucky here and maybe get something. It's a lot less buggy here. It's way more clear and a beautiful little pond. Seen lots of butterflies, a lot of dragonflies. We'll see if we get something. So we're starting out the trail. Another nice day here. It's the second week of June. It's bumpy, so bear with me. It's about to get a little bit more difficult to see with this. Is that a dog?
Is it a wolf?
No, it's a person's dog.
It's a dog.
That's a dog. Oh, there's a side-by-side way ahead. Okay. Alright, we had to wait for the dog, but this has dried out a lot since we were out here 2 weekends ago. Even though we've had some rainfall, so this is much better. I don't really think we'll have too many issues out here today. As you can see over there, it's pretty.
I don't think we'll even need four-wheel drive.
Or four-wheel drive, he says. That's a bold statement. We'll have to see how that pays off. It's really been raining. As you can see the rain clouds, but I think for the most part, they've kind of passed us now, so hopefully it'll be pretty nice out here. Although bumpy, I'm a huge fan of this road in the summer as opposed to the winter. So this is summertime. Looks pretty nice. Look at that nice rig. An even nicer dude in there. Let's take a look over here. And we can see. Let's see. Show you around what we can see on our drive. That's the highway. It's pretty cool how far you can see. I mean, they just go on and on and on and on. As we progress on the top of the ridge and start to come down, I'm going to point out exactly where you can see just a hint of our cabin. So over here on the left side of the trail, on that edge of the hills, I'm about to zoom in and point right about there. That is the roof. And so zooming in, you can actually make it out from right there. So we have to continue down this part, up another ridge, down that, and through the trees until we turn off to where our cabin lies. And then that is the walk that we take down into the valley to the creek. Speaking of going down a steep hill, here is a look at one of our steepest parts of our hill that we need to go down and then back up on the way out. It's definitely interesting when you're hauling a heavy load in the winter. We've kind of shown you that view. So here is a look at it during the summer. It's a little bit rocky, but this is the alternate route that's a little less rocky. So it's really not that bad at all. However, I have yet to actually do this in the 4Runner, but I will do it in the side-by-side or the ATV to get out to our cabin in the summer. Dogs are happy. So while they're drinking, we're just settling in. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, but in the winter, I don't typically travel. Oops. Well, now I just pulled it off trying to show you. With bottles because they're just a little rougher. But I was able to bring one out today and finally use that. That's so exciting. Cheers.
It's a beautiful day out, other than the mosquitoes. Apparently, Twisted Tea makes these rocket pop Twisted Teas. And they're delicious.
What does it taste like?
Literally exactly like a rocket pop. So that's a plus. So every year I do a veterans only Secret Santa, and I got this as a Secret Santa gift this year. It's a little tiny kind of tabletop solo stove. So it's our first time using it. Pretty easy to get going. That's it. It's keeping the mosquitoes away, except for the mosquito literally on it. Maybe
well, they're kind of around the vicinity.
Job burning not smoky, but maybe we need smoky. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we're giving it a try to see if we can maybe help tame the mosquitoes. I'm sure you can probably see them. They're a little unruly right now. As you could see, there is rain and thunder and lightning that came through. Luckily, it doesn't look like so far there's any new fires in our area, which is always a concern after we have lightning storms pass through. But that made it pretty wet, which means the mosquitoes are out in full force. But we're still...
No wind.
Yeah, exactly. So if there's no wind, that's when they're pretty bad here. They're not always bad, but today's one of those days where it's pretty calm and it just rained. And now we get mosquitoes, so we get to enjoy this lovely view with the mosquitoes. So I'm glad we're here to share it with them, but we're going to see if this solo stove keeps them at bay. But as you can see, flying around, they're all around. But we're just glad to be out here. We don't have the boys this time, and that's because it's their last day and a half with their Nana before she flies back to upstate New York. So they're spending the night with her at her cabin, which you've seen us work on and renovate, and she's made it even more like home. She's done an incredible job since she's been here. So they're with her, and then they will go to their Gammy and Pops once she flies out before we are back, and they haven't seen their Gammy and Pops in like a week and a half, which is a long time now since they've moved here. So they're pretty excited for that. We're going to try to put in some windows. We'll see how it goes. Not looking forward to the mess inside that it's going to create by any means, and it's just really not as ideal to do it from the outside. So we'll see what tomorrow holds. You get a little smoke?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at you.
Ooh, might have lost my eyebrow on that one.
Hey, good news is I smell it. Oh, no.
My eyelashes.
I smell it. It's kind of a late dinner for the dogs. And this time I brought out we'll see if I can open it without using a can opener. The leftover caribou scraps from our caribou that we harvested last fall with my dad on his visit. Because when they come out to the cabin, this is always challenging to open when you have a great seal, which is very important when it comes to canning, but I'm not trying to break my nails. There we go. Okay, so I canned just caribou scrap meat that was not worthy of eating for the dogs. And whenever they come out, they always get some canned food. And so we're finally able to use some of this if we ran out of the commercial brand. So we'll see how they like it. It smells really good. And it was just stuck in here and then just pressure canned. Oh, it just pulls apart. You guys are gonna love this. Okay, so here's a nice chunk. It just pulls apart super nice and fine. So I'm gonna actually do that to kind of, look at this. It smells so good. So these dogs, this time around, will be eating the caribou scraps with their meal tonight. And literally never try to waste any part of what we harvest if we can help it. So I'm really happy that this is going back to the dogs and that we're on to this now. And it'll get them through several meals. I'll actually save little pieces for tomorrow. So we'll see how they like it here in just a moment. Ooh. A meal fit for these amazing doggos. Let's see what Tundra thinks. She's a little finicky. Sorry. Okay. She seems satisfied. Bruce seems quite happy. So I think it's a hit. Safe to say they like their homemade dog food.
Oh, no.
What'd you make us?
Popcorn.
Popcorn? What kind of popcorn?
Jiffy Pop.
Jiffy Pop. Nothing but the finest over your propane oven. You are definitely dropping a lot of Jiffy Pop. Look, they know. They're coming. They know it. They know you've got popcorn. It's time to share with the dogs. We have our goal 0 Boulder 100 briefcase solar panels. Of course, it's starting to rain again, and it's going to work with our Yeti 500. So we finally got it out here. There's a lot of clouds, so, and raining. But we'll see how it does. It's at 87%. We just kind of wanted to experiment and see how much input we're getting here, see how it ends up charging and how sustainable this can be long term. So just kind of experimenting. We'll see what it does. Oh, hey. So I'm installing our curtain that goes in front of our garbage and stuff, but I knew it would be a little too long, so I'm hemming it by stapling into this box, pulling out my staple, and folding it over, because you know it works out here.
Straight out of the instruction manual.
And
there you go. It's installed.
It looks nice. Ta-da! So in like a half hour of charging, when the sun was really shining after the rain kind of stopped, it went up about 5%. And then we have been using it to charge the cell phone. So, it's got output at the same time as input, but it's at 94% now at 2 hours. So it's keeping really consistent with what's going in and coming out, and it seems to be working pretty well. The sun's now kind of moving behind us, so, there's a little bit, but not a ton of bright sun, but it's still working. I'll just imagine if we had like a huge setup, that would be pretty sweet. Someday we'll get there.
Sneak peek before that episode drops.
We're about to go for a ride and grab some rocks so we can build up our dilapidated fire pit over here so it has a safe base. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like now with a window on this side. That's pretty exciting. So we're collecting rocks for our fire pit up here, since it's a pretty rocky area. So it's kind of what it looks like when you go beyond our cabin. Well, it's like you can see the trail way in the distance. And then you can't see where we are because we're just below in that tree area on the right hand side, about over that way. But it's pretty up here. As you can see, we have now put these rocks here to try to make a barrier from the ground, because this might have been ran over by a snow machine. So we're going to take off the legs and we're going to set the middle inside of this and hold it down with the rock. And then we'll be able to have a safe fire again, in theory, hopefully. That's the goal. Stay tuned.
So we're building the fire pit, but we need some drains in the bottom of the metal thing. Tried to drill it, got dirty, didn't drill. So we're gonna make some holes with a gun, because that's what we do.
There it is, our new fire pit. Yeah, we made what's old new again.
In the upcoming episodes, we'll show you how we installed our windows as well as began leveling the cabin, among several other projects. But right now, we're just enjoying the two of us out here at the cabin, taking in the view and sharing it with our dogs. Hope you enjoyed as well.
Thanks for joining us.
Give us a like and subscribe and follow for our next adventures on Wild and Free
Interior Alaska.